welcome back, listeners, to the BizBlend podcast, where we stir together grit, genius, and growth. I'm your host, Sana, and today's episode, listeners, is a story of bold ideas, small town roots, and one woman's mission to make independence affordable for those living with arthritis. Now, from dreaming about rockets to developing medical devices, our lovely guest, Téa Phillips, turned her engineering education and a deeply personal experience with her grandmother's health into Metaflex, a glove that's transforming lives. So, listeners, what does it take to launch from pitch competitions to FDA filings to actually getting a product into the hands of those who need it the most? We're about to find out. So, Taya, welcome to the show, and I'm really honored to have you here with us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Sana. I'm honored to be here.
Taya, what you are doing, I think, uh, it's like a true essence of actually creating something, and and there is a story. There is such a huge pain point in here, especially when we look at all the senior citizens or aged people out there. I think it's such a beautiful and such a powerful purpose in there. So with that, let's uh, explore your journey. I mean, you started Metaflex while still in college, and that is awesome. I mean, not everyone takes an idea from a school project to a patented FD compliant product. I'm really interested. Like, what was the first moment you realized that, okay, this is something I have to build it?
Uh, I think that was when we started doing customer discovery and I talked to my grandmother.
Wow.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, we had this idea for helping people manage arthritis, and she had really, really bad arthritis. And so I started paying attention to her and thinking back on all the things that she once did that she didn't do anymore. Things that she loved to do, like gardening and knitting and quilting and all of that, that she just wasn't doing anymore. And it was because her hands hurt. And so I noticed that. And I also talked to her about it and about how arthritis is affecting her life. And she told me one of her biggest pain points is that she would wake up in the morning and her hands would be stiff and closed into a fist. So she's brilliant, brilliant, strong woman. And how she solved the problem is she would hold on to a tennis ball and then put a sock over her hand so she wouldn't drop it. And that's how she would sleep. So that when she woke up in the morning, her hand wouldn't be closed and it would be a little warmer and easier to move. And I mean that I was really impressed by her ingenuity, but it was also really sad to realize that she was waking up every single morning in pain and going to sleep having to, like, rig this thing up so that she would be in less pain, and it was at that moment and I realized how Metaflex, with its adjustable bands that extend the fingers and the gentle compression for stiffness and circulation, that it would have a huge impact on her life, like, she would wake up and feel empowered if she had Metaflex, so once I talked to her, it kind of felt like a responsibility, something I had to bring to the world.
Wow, wow. I think uh yeah, I mean, you've brought the essence of understanding a pain point and defining the mission and vision of something to be created, a business or a venture or an idea, and that too at such a young age. It's it's really inspiring for especially for the younger generations. And one thing comes to my mind. At least in college, I was having no idea about this, but right now, did you try to scan the existing market, as in, in terms of caregiving in this specific industry or in healthcare? Were there any solutions which were at least, tending or at least acknowledging that, yes, this is a problem?
Partially, so there's compression gloves have been on the market since the 1900s. They do the circulation part, but for the stretching, I've seen braces, like rigid plastic or metal braces that keep the hand in a certain position, but none of them were comfortable. None of them combined both of those things. Um, and then we have the added layer of strengthening. So all of the products that we're solving, the problem that we're solving, we're doing it in three silos. So improving circulation with the compression gloves, keeping the hand extended at the night with the braces, and then things like stress balls or bands to do grip strengthening. And Metaflex is the first product to put it all together.
Wow,
Mhm.
that's super. It seems like, it's both logic and emotion that, they really performed as accelerators for you, Taya. And you worked for 3 years before going all in on your business. Um, was that a strategic or like an intentional delay, or it was more about, like, as a first time entrepreneur, you're having that fear or maybe funding or.
Yeah, definitely fear. I invented Metaflex and graduated college with my mechanical engineering degree in the same year.
Mhm.
So I had this idea, I had established the company, I had won a little bit of money, um, and I had this degree that was worth it was worth a lot. I had a job offer to work as a contractor for the Department of Energy, which was really interesting work. And I knew it would, make me good money. And I wanted to use my engineering degree. I knew I could start a company, but it would be difficult and I'd probably have to move back in with my parents, and I didn't want to do that. So it was a bit of, fear, but also a bit of strategy to make that money. But I mean, when I was working at Y12, I had Metaflex like on the back burner. It wasn't my focus. I guess, felt a little selfish in that time. I was making good money. I was traveling. I was enjoying my life. I was saving, but I wasn't super focused on Metaflex. I was doing some work, but it wasn't until my grandma started getting worse in 2021, her health, I mean, just really rapidly started declining. I guess at the end of 2020, her health was like rapidly declining. And I realized I felt guilty that I hadn't brought this to market and helped her while I could, because she ended up passing before I could get it to market. But yeah, it was her health decline that made me quit my job and jump into it and finally take the leap.
Wow. Yeah, I can understand that. I can understand that. And um I just want to go back a bit to your childhood, because you know it's those experiences that shape our journey. So in your childhood, did you have any experience around entrepreneurship, or was it something completely um, you know that kind of shaped during your college years?
Um, Towards the end of high school, my dad was tinkering, and he has this great mechanical mind. He's a good problem solver. He's really smart. So he had made a few things, and I didn't, know until I was older, but he invented something, that he sold to a company called Troy-Bilt, and he called it Mower Plus, but they branded it as the Flex, which is kinda cool because 'cause he's got the Flex and I've got the Metaflex.
Okay.
But his idea was, his garage was getting cluttered, and he wanted to, um, save some space and also have all of these tools for yard work that he wanted to have. So he made this base generator that had attachments for, all of the tools that he liked using, lawnmower, pressure washer, log splitter, on and on. And so I watched him patent it and make prototypes and then sell it to this big company. And I think that is really what made me think I can invent something. If he can do it, I can do it for sure. Um, and yeah, so I didn't really see the path that I was supposed to go down. But yeah, when I was in high school, he started working on it, and I feel like I was in college when he sold it. And then I started getting interested in entrepreneurship and what can I build?
Hmm. That is really, really interesting. And Taya, I I mean, it's really unfortunate that you're I mean, you could not bring out the product till your grandmother was there, but I'm very sure she must be happy that now you got it going, and you're all out there sharing the benefits of your creation. So, there's an engineering mindset here. I mean, you have applied your learning, you have applied your experiences here, you have applied your emotions into it. So it's like a blend of purpose, emotions, and knowledge. And now sometimes the business world, the profits, the numbers, they sometimes don't go hand in hand with knowledge. So
Mhm.
what's your opinion on that? And especially because you are in the healthcare system, um, then there is all that FDA stuff and all. So, what's your opinion on that?
There's so much. Especially in the healthcare space and in US, it's healthcare for profit, which is a model that I don't really like because I grew up, in rural America, in a working class family, and healthcare expenses were a big point of stress for myself and for all of the people that I know and love my whole life. I mean, it wasn't till I started this company and started raising money that I ever met anyone who wasn't worried about doctor's bills. Or I guess when I was working for an engineer as an engineer and, but yeah, we're doing things differently at ATS Innovations. We're focused on affordable healthcare and providing products that are effective and not just like gimmicky gadgets. We're not selling something just to make money. We're selling something because it's helping people. Like we're solving a problem. It's problem first. It's people first. So I see a lot of what I think are problems with the way healthcare and healthcare companies are operating right now. And I'm proud to show that there's a different way to do things.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, dear. That is once again, it's so inspiring, and also, how do you personally handle this pressure that too at such a young age? I mean, there's a pressure of being mission driven, people first, with that reality of needing to scale and make profit. For the fact that whenever we talk about investment, investors, venture
Mm.
capital, and all that stuff, it's like it's a different level of pressure in there.
Yeah, I think I work best under pressure.
Yeah.
Somehow it feels, I feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. It's a heavy weight, but it's worth it when I read my reviews. I mean, I have people saying that they're not using, like, a pain relieving cream anymore because Metaflex is helping them, so they're off that kind of medicine. Other people saying, "This is a miracle, I can finally sleep at night," or like, "Thank you for helping my husband or my child," and we have a product, the Metaflex glove, that's changing lives. So it's a heavy responsibility, but
Mhm.
the reward of doing good work is absolutely worth it. And I like solving problems. That's why I went into engineering because I like solving puzzles and being creative and finding solutions to complex things. So it's entrepreneurship has been the best job I've ever had for sure.
And that to mechanical engineering.
Yeah, mechanical engineering.
Yes. That is at a whole different level. Yeah, it really requires. Yeah, I can imagine that, and I really love that boldness. I really love that. But sometimes pressure, stress, apart from the technical, the physical terms, they are needed because the calling, the purpose, it's at such a higher level for
Mm.
the entire humanity. So yes, yes. Let's look at the bigger picture as well. So before we wrap up, Taya, um, what's your plan? I mean, next plan with Metaflex. Where are you looking at? What kind of vision do you have with Metaflex in the coming years, especially with
Mm. We're growing a lot at Metaflex, and it's now I have other unique problems like hiring and finding the right people. And then once you get the right people in, how do you motivate them? What's their dream job? And how can I like incorporate pieces of that into their work at ATS? And what motivates people and how can I help them to provide a good life for their families and make the kind of money they want to make and it's been so rewarding to build a team and take care of people. But as far as products, we've got more products coming out. We've got two more versions that'll be coming out this year. At least one of them will be this year. The second one might be early next year. But it's we're in a season of growth. Metaflex is working. It's helping people, and now we're just continuing to innovate, which is really really fun. And I'm making new products and there's so much in the works. There's so much in the works and I can't wait. So I hope everybody follows me on LinkedIn and goes to metaflexglove.com and gets on our email list so you know what's going on because there's a lot of good stuff coming out very soon from Metaflex. We're actually about to launch in another country and we'll be announcing that in the next month. We'll be announcing that in August.
That is brilliant. That is brilliant. Well, all the best to you, Taya, and all our love to you for doing this because this is a real problem. This is um,
Mhm,
people centric and it's noble. It's with such a noble intention, but with also a lot of grit, resilience, and I'm really really so inspired by you. So if I'll make sure to have all the links in the show notes for our listeners to check out Metaflex and connect with you.
mhm.
And thank you so much for being a beacon of inspiration there for all of us because from such humble beginnings to now running a business of your own, um, building a team. I think your journey reminds us that invention isn't just about the next big idea, it's about executing them and solving real problems for real people. So thank you so much.
Mhm. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, to all the listeners out there, you can see like how every creation has such a beautiful story behind it. Metaflex wasn't born in some kind of meeting or boardroom. It started in a conversation with Tea's grandmother. And that grounded, human centered approach is what sets her apart. And if you're building something from scratch, betting on yourself, or stuck between paycheck and passion, this episode is for you. It's um, it's the same for me as well. So until next time, keep blending purpose with performance. Go support and check out Metaflex. Just refer to the show notes along with this link, along with this episode. And this has been BizBlend, and I'm your host Sana signing off. Thank you.